Okay, welcome back to our hands-on demonstration using the Python program in solving the matrix or spiral matrix problem. Let's start off first by defining a function. So in Python, there's a command called def. So this it means that we're going to define a function, and I will call this one as a parent spiral. Then I will declare the variables here, which is for mat, meaning the matrix, top, bottom, left, and right. Okay, so we have set here the variable names. For this case, you don't need to assign an integer, character, string, because in Python, automatically this is the system will be able to determine right away what type of data type is it. Now let's proceed. So let's create a condition here. If the left part of the row of your matrix is greater than the right side of the row, then it will return, meaning will display the result. But here, I'm going to create here a comment. It will print the top row option. Now, we're going to create here a for loops method, but in Python, we use this method for I in range, referring to the I is our the way it will going to do the iteration. Then the range is example from 1 to 5, 1 to 10. So that's the range, either in descending or ascending order. So here we're going to start from the left side of our row, then right side we're going to add 1, then colon, then we're going to display the first part of the row, matrix. For matrix, then top option, we're going to start with the top, then this is the first iteration in the first row. Then here I'll be putting what they call this spacing, so there will be spacing part of the code. Now I'm going to write down here from the top. Okay, just write that. I say top it plus 1. It can also be written as this way, top plus 1. Okay, if in case you don't understand this, you try to review in your programming languages related to the assignment operator, so you can remember and understand it. So going back here, so I'll just type it this way so you can understand it better. If top greater than bottom, then we're going to get the result. This time we're going to print the column, print the right column, okay, in this part of the code. Okay, for I in range, starting from the top, then bottom, so top to going to the bottom, going down, plus 1 colon, then we're going to display the output. Right, again matrix, then this time I'll be displaying the first iteration. Okay, sorry about that. Should be the matrix, the first iteration, the next iteration for your column, then right, going to the right, then and to put in some spacing here. Right now, so the formula for this one, to get the right option, the way it will move into the matrix, right equals to right minus 1. Okay, now if left is greater than the right column, then get the result. Okay, now we're going to display the bottom side of our column. How are we going to do it? Okay, first I'll put a comment here, so you will be guided what's the purpose of the code below. This will print the bottom row. Okay, and this part of the code for I in range again. Then I'm going to put here, starting from the right, then left minus 1, then minus 1. Actually, it's just like when you try to read it. Example, if you have a number like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if you want to go backward, going this way, then when you count it, this is actually equivalent to -1, and this one is -2, etc. if you're going to analyze the meaning of this one. Okay, now I'll continue. Left minus 1, okay, colon, then print the output again, this time matrix, right, then this time I'm gonna put here bottom, then the next iteration for I for our range, then and for the spacing, because we put a spacing, trend. Okay, so this time I'm gonna move my code so you can see it. Bottom equals bottom minus 1. Right, so the condition here, let me check. Okay, okay, there you are. Bottom, if top is greater than bottom, then it will display the result. Now we're going to display now the left column. So I put here the column, print the left column. Okay, this is just a comment. You might be confused. What's the meaning of this hashtag print? It's a comment. It's a description for the type of code under it. For I in range, now starting from the bottom, then top minus 1. This is relation to the spacing, the movement. So 1. Right, next line, I'm gonna print again, print matrix, matrix. So this time I'm gonna put here, okay, the iteration I for the row, then next is the left portion of the, then end equals to, put the spacing again. This time I'm going to say left equals to left plus 1. Okay, because it tried to move in. Now, after this, we're going to display this. We're going to call the function here, print spiral. So we're going to call up this value going down here and below, okay, going down here. So print spiral, then display this at top, bottom, left, right. Okay, now if you're going to analyze this one, this portion, the print spiral, try to perform this part of the code. Okay, this one, perform this line of codes. Right, now let me continue. So here, if name, this is actually a function here in Python. This is for the advanced topic. Okay, main colon, right? Then I'm going to create the matrix match, then put here the value. So what's the value? Like I'll start up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then next part, put here in our second row of our matrix 16, 17, 18, 19, then 6. Okay, we're done with our second row. Third row, we're going to type in number. I'll just continue typing here. This is 15, 24, 25, 27. Right, now fourth row, 14, 23, 22, 21, then 8. Okay, next, last row, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Okay, I think that's the end of the row. Put here the end of the row. Alright, so, and this part, I'm gonna put here, oops. Alright, top equals to 0. I'm going to initialize it to 0. Then the bottom, we're going to get the length of the matrix. So this command len, meaning the size of the characters. Example, this one, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, matrix. Then minus 1, because we're going to move going to the left side, then we have to deduct it with 1. Now initialize the value for left, which is 0. Okay, put your spacing left. Now the right option, going also to get this size for the right matrix, start off with a 0. Then this one minus 1, because we're trying to move here. So this time we're going to run the spiral. Call the value print spiral. Oops. The matrix, top, bottom, left, and the right. Okay, I hope the code will run. So what will I name this code? I'm going to save this one as print spiral. Okay, try to run. Oops. Invalid syntax. Why getting this syntax? It's part of the code. Uh-oh. Why I get this one? Look at me. Oops. Where is it? Where's my code? Open one by one from the top. And by the way, before I forgot, this is an example of what we call the recursion method. This option. Okay, this is a recursion approach in solving the spiral order matrix. Okay, starting from here. All right. So far, so good. Now I hope okay, I forgot this is for the error. We save this one again. Run. Okay, there you are. Where is the output? 1, 2, 3, etc. That's how you're going to solve the what we call this one, the recursion method. Now, how about if we're going to use the what we call this one, another option. Okay, if you're going to review the iterative method, since we create here a function called print spiral. Now, by using this approach, we're able to solve it. There's another way to do it, although this one we will be using the while condition. So this is an iterative approach to solve the problem. Let me try to run the code. Create another one. Okay. So I'll be copying here, typing function print spiral. Okay. Order, then matrix, referring to the matrix, colon. So we're going to create a function called top again. Start from here. Also equals to, so the top and the left, we're going to initialize this to 0. Okay, now the bottom, this will be the length. I'm going to get the size of the matrix. Then -1 because it will go backward reading, so we have to deduct it 1 if we do the backtrack reading. Alright, now let me finish up this one. Right, then length, then matrix, referring to our matrix. So we're going to start off with the, let me say this is 0. Alright, -1. Now we're going to add here a condition while true. If the condition is true, this part will be performed. Okay, if left greater than the right, now it will stop. So on this part, it will also print the top row. Okay, on this part of the code, for I in range, referring to the left, right, then we're going to add 1. Okay, colon. Now we're going to display the result, which is mod, then top, then I, right, and so we're going to put here spacing, then we're going to add up the increment of top is equal to top plus 1. Now the condition here, if top greater than the bottom, it will also break, then stop. Then if this one is false, then it will continue to move into the next iteration. So this time we're going to print or display the right column. Okay, now for I in range, going to the top, bottom plus 1, colon, then print the matrix. We're going to display our matrix starting from the right, going to the right, then put the spacing here because we need to put this for a row and column. Then here right equals to right plus, minus. We need to minus now because from the right side going to the right, then going to the left. -1. If the left is greater than the right, then it will break, meaning it will try to stop. Okay, after, if this one is false, then it will continue now going to the bottom. So it will continue to print the bottom row. Okay, this is just a comment. For I in range, starting to the right, then left, we're going to deduct in the left so we can move into the next column. So again, -1, meaning we're backward going to the left side using this method, the -1. I print now the matrix, the matrix, starting out, going down now to the bottom. So for our next iteration, for our range, then end. Okay, so bottom equals to bottom -1. Right, so the question here again, if top is greater than the bottom, then break, and we'll now continue to print the left column. Okay, it will now move into the left column. So for the command of this one, we will type in for I in range again, then bottom, meaning we are now in the bottom part, then top minus up because we're going downward, coming from the top going down. So -1, then moving now to 1. Right, so display, just copy this one, I guess. So I don't need to keep on typing. Right, I'll just edit it anyway. Left, this is part of the left. Now I'll be changing this. Then I can say here left, because we're now on the left column. And then this part at the end, we're going to do the left +1 because we're moving forward to the next part. Now put here the if condition. Okay, I'll put here if. This is an initialization or init in Python, trying to create or call up the main function. This is actually the advanced part in Python topic. Although you haven't started, you should learn how to understand the Python code because this one has a shorter code and easier to understand. Alright, now I'm going to create here I guess I'll just type here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. Then next row, referring now to 16, 17, 18, 19, 6. Okay, next row, starting off with 15, 14. We're done with the 14. Not yet 14. Okay, I start up 24, 25, 27, colon, and next column is 14, 23, 22, 21, 8, 14, okay, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Right, okay, I think I'm done on this part. Now let's close it. I'll be calling up print spiral order, then the matrix. We're going to call the matrix. So we're going to use this one, what we call this is the iterative approach. I'm gonna save this one. Spiral matrix iterative. Okay, let's try to run again now. I hope this one no error. Okay, I think there's something wrong with my code. I need to double check the spacing in here. It says here it's invalid syntax. It's not true because it's actually valid. Well, how come this one? Let me try to check how come this one getting in. Maybe there's something wrong with my spacing. That's why I get an error. Okay, let's try to run this one now. Run the program. Okay, there you are. Right. So we get the result 1, 2, 3 up to it was now arranged to 1 to 25. So if you're going back here in our column, this if you're going to read it using the spiral, start off from here, then going up here, then going up here, leftmost, from the left 13, like that, then 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 24, 25. That's how it works. Where with the command here, minus from the bottom, it will try to, because this one in Python, when you try to display or move into from coming from the right side going to the left, then you have to use this one. All right. I think that's all for our sample. And by the way, this is an example of what we call the iterative approach. Okay, this one. A while ago, it was a recursion example. Now, you can distinguish because if it's an iterative approach, then you have to start off with a while condition here. Now, in the recursive, what we were using, the other one. So, this is another approach. If you take a look in here, although the results just the same, we'll also start reading from here. 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 10, 10, 15, 16, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4. So the same result, but the coding just coded in a different manner. All right, that's all for the sample problem using the recursive and iterative approach using the Python program. So you try to practice on writing a program using the language that you know, either Java or C++. You may try to explore and run the program. So with the use of the Java, it's actually almost the same, but the coding quite different. I will try to show you with the use of Java. Using the iterative approach. Okay, let